Alright guys, so Drake was clearly not satisfied with the feedback from that last album, so he decided to jump in the booth, whip out the pen, and he just gave us a brand new EP. Luckily for us, an angry Drake is a pretty good Drake, so here are the subliminal shots that I found from the new project. And look, you could like Drake, you could hate Drake, but you should at least respect what he's doing here. I mean, this guy does not have to do this. He's a billionaire. But he's clearly just doing this for pride. I mean, apparently he wrote all these tracks in the last week. So hit the like button for Drake, hit the like button for me, and let's go. Track 1, red button. So right off rip, the bars are for Kanye.
Leave your label devastated. Even when you pad the stats, period, I never hated.
So when Kanye went on his infamous anti-Semitic spree, his label was literally left devastated as it totally fell apart. It all started when his main man Pusha T decided to pull the plug, and the final blow went down when Def Jam cut him loose. The second line about padding the stats is in reference to Kanye's album The Life of Pablo, where Tidal completely faked his streaming numbers.
Every time you need me for a boost, I never hesitated. Every time a Yeezy caught a truce, he had my head inflated.
So Drake and Kanye have had a very complicated relationship. It's been a back and forth thing for a while now. They make up and then they fall out again. And in the very first line, Drake lets it be known that he's dished out many favors for Kanye over the years when he needed a boost, aka help with an album. Drake has helped Kanye with a number of his albums in the past, helping to write songs like Yikes, 30 Hours, and Father Stretch My Hands. And the word boost is also a reference to the Yeezy Boost technology introduced through Kanye's Adidas line. In the next line, Drake indicates that Kanye had his head inflated every time they would call a truce. In other words, he would gas Drake up, feed him nothing but compliments, likely only when it was convenient for him. And Drake always looked up to Kanye. This was like his idol. Kanye broke the mold of you didn't need to be a gangster rapper. You know what I mean? You could be a preppy dork and still make it in hip-hop.
Thinking we gon' finally piece it up and get to levitating. Realize that everything premeditated.
So the third line, thinking we gonna piece it up and get to levitating, is the juicier line of the segment, having two meanings. Drake uses the word levitating to reference the beat from Lift Yourself. This was a beat that Kanye had promised to Drake when they worked together in Wyoming, but Kanye decided to troll Drake and use the beat for this.
Whoop-de-doo scoop. Scoop-de-dee-whoop. Whoop-de-scoop-de-poop.
The second meaning is involving the word levitating again, as Kanye floated in the sky at his show at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And look, I'm sorry to ruin your Christmas, but Kanye West wasn't levitating. It was a stunt double. In the last line, it appears that Drake has grown tired of Kanye's antics, as he always seems to have some sort of ulterior motive. He pretty much just got sick of being fucked with and just said, this he's untrustworthy. Next, Drake threatens Kanye once again with his ability to drop this big secret that he has against him.
If I press this red button, dog, everybody heaven gated. Press this red button, dog, and everything forever changes. As I explained in my last video, Drake has been holding this thing over Kanye's head for years, where apparently he has this detrimental secret against him. Drake claims that pressing the red button would end Kanye's career, and he then references his breakthrough hit Forever, which features Kanye West. Last name ever, first name greatest.
And I mean, just look at the features. It was a life-changing record for Drake. However, Drake wasn't done, as he still had plenty of bars for Kanye.
I will fucking double cross you niggas like it's meditation. I'll give you a hard pill to swallow, this your medication.
So it's no secret that Kanye stopped taking his medication for bipolar disorder, as he felt it stunted his creativity. More recently, he even mentioned that he felt like he was misdiagnosed. Drake uses the words hard pill to swallow as a double entendre where 1, Kanye wouldn't take his medication, and 2, he's unwilling to accept that he lives with bipolar disorder and he needs it.
I will fucking leave you in the dirt like some vegetation. Chemicals is mixing in my brain and killing hesitation.
This one is a reference to Kanye's video where he impersonated murdering and burying Pete Davidson.
The cameras watch the kids, I stopped taking the credit.
Actually, I was wrong. He didn't murder him. He turned him into like a flower pot or like a plant or something. It's a crazy video. Drake is insinuating again that if he hits the red button and drops this secret, Kanye will be left in the dirt. Drake also plays with terms associated with medication, like mixing chemicals in my brain, and again, he claims that hesitation to drop this big secret is dwindling.
Niggas fucking call me up to cap, that's not a graduation.
Again, Drake alludes to the fact that Kanye has lied to him about wanting to squash things, calling him up to cap, and lastly, the term graduation is clearly a reference to Kanye's graduation album. And there's a lot of things in this record that we're not going to get. We're not going to make the connections. But Kanye is. He is going to get it. Because this whole entire record is about Kanye. The name of it is Red Button. It's like an extortion record, more or less. Track 2, Stories About My Brother. On this one, Drake had some bars for Joe Budden.
Imagine us getting our validation from an ex-musician searching for recognition.
So, as everyone knows, Joe Budden had some harsh critics for Drake regarding his last album. Now, I'm not going to play the clips of Joe Budden because I'm sure you've all seen it at this point, but Drake was not happy with Joe's remarks and he responded with a paragraph. The funny thing about Drake's long-winded paragraph was he basically just summed it up here with 11 words. Joe had a lackluster rap career, turned into a podcaster, and now he's critiquing other rappers. Look, in my opinion, I don't think this EP, first off, would even exist without people like Joe Budden commenting on it and firing Drake up and inspiring him to do this. Like, when it comes to Joe, you could say what you want about him, call him a failure, whatever, but when we're talking about lyrics and bars, like, Joe's pen was impeccable. Joe's jersey's up there. Like, you can't, whatever you say about him, this is why these rappers get so bent out of shape, is because they once respected Joe as an MC. It hurts to hear criticism from him. Next, he had a few lines for none other than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Y'all the type to catch a charge, head to the deposition, and act like the rapper named after the sex position.
So, pretty self-explanatory. 6ix9ine was facing close to 50 years in prison, rolled on his entire team, and ratted everyone out. Did you guys catch the spit at the end where he...
named after the sex position.
And I didn't explain it, but a 69 is indeed a sex position, for those who don't know. Track 4, Wickman. On this one, Drake has some smoke for Pusha T.
Man, I remember niggas was joking about some tick-tick, and now that rapper broke as fuck, the boy a statistic.
So this one is in reference to what I would consider to be one of the most vile shots in the history of hip-hop beef. On the story of Adidon, Pusha made a reference to how Drake's main man, 40, was sick with multiple sclerosis and that time was ticking on his life.
OVO 40, hunched over like he 80. Tick, tick, tick. How much time he got, that man is 666.
Drake then claims that Pusha is now a broke rapper, which maybe to Drake's standards is true, but I wouldn't mind having his money. And that's pretty much all the disses I found. I mean, it's only 6 tracks. It's an EP, but I do feel like Drake delivered. I do think Drake killed this. I do think it's a phenomenal project. It's far better than For All the Dogs. I did not like For All the Dogs. I liked 5 songs on that album out of 21. To me, some people would say that's a mid album, but to me, that's, if I don't like 70% of your project, to me, that's a fucking disaster. It's not mid. But this is more like it. I think Drake really did prove himself. But with that said, I have been working tirelessly on a new project for 5 weeks now, and I'm making a fucking movie, guys. It's Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, and I know that's been covered before, but I can promise you there's nothing on YouTube or on the internet that is anything close to what I'm making here. I'm going all in on this, and I've been watching Kendrick Lamar interviews in Spanish and Drake interviews in French, looking for that one moment where one MC might mention the other. And I found out a lot of shit. And the way that I've tied this together, this story, you guys are really, really going to fuck with it. And I do think it's going to be my biggest project, most successful project to date. So I'm hoping for that. But stay tuned for that because it's coming in like 4 or 5 days. I just had to take a break and get to this because, you know, hot topic. My last video did really well when I covered For All the Dogs, subliminal disses. So I just said, okay, let's just try it again. But anyways, love you guys, man. Peace out.
My guy did a good job.
He did.
He did a good job with that.
It came across my feed.
Edit. Good to see it edited correctly.
Here, what's the dirt?
Bitch, I'm about to blow up. Say what?